So let me start the 2025 annual design show. It's unbelievable. I'm so very happy and extremely proud of what our student design team has done this year. We are, and can you please come onto camera and wave? We have Hazel, Kat, and Paulie, and Lillian, Olivia, and of course Georgie and me, who have done unbelievable tireless work on getting the social media campaign going. I hope you've seen some of those amazing images and messages. They have done a fantastic website with everything from scratch, a really amazing work. And they've done this PowerPoint and got thoughts together how to present tonight's winners and commendations. And yeah, just you are amazing. And I'm so happy I have you as a team tonight. And yeah, I'm sure we hear more from you while we are going through this presentation tonight. Let's keep going because we have quite a packed agenda. I've said that before. So just roughly, if we don't exactly stick to time, apologies. I hope we can make it. So we have our winners and commendations first, because I know you're all burning to know who was selected to be the winner of our yearly competition. And we go in that order of modules. And then after that, we have three amazing speakers. So this year we had a few special events organized by staff and in collaboration with external organizations, which was the Designathon, the Sustainathon, and also we have a guest from the Open University who's going to talk about a fantastic opportunity students from the Open University can get involved in. That's the Open Business Creators. So I hop on to the next slide, which is, I'm very sure you're aware, which is an overview of our modules who have been part of this competition. So we have finally, we have two first level modules working our way up to a final a whole degree in design. So we have U101, which is a mix of practical work and on design thinking, building up portfolio. We have T190, which focuses very much on key designerly skills and practices across disciplines. And then T17, called Design Essentials, but you really get into the details of very key design essentials of materials and sketching and constructing. And then T317 is our design innovation module, the final one at the moment, although we're working our way up, as I said, to having another second and third level module very soon on the BDES. And we had an amazing number of submissions. We are actually, I think it's the first, yeah, we had probably from all the years most submissions we've ever received. So I'm absolutely happy to announce that. It's great participation. Thanks everyone for doing so. I don't want to hold us up any longer, and I think for the competition results I'm handing over to Georgie, and I'll take your job of admitting people.
Okay, thank you, Nick.
Do you want to take over control, or do you want me to
you could progress it. That's fine.
Very good.
There are just so many people coming in. There's a couple there now. So wow, this year, it was such a hard thing to actually judge competition. What we do in order to kind of decide who the winners are is we basically ask all our colleagues to vote against all the entries, which we put on a Miro board, and we use that as to inform us. But it was so difficult. But there were so many fantastic entries. And I think you're going to see that when you see how many commendations we have for U101, because it was so hard to choose. And that was true on every single module. But we have made some choices. To some extent, the numbers kind of reflect the size of entries for that module. So shall we start with U101? We're going to start with commendations on U101. And we have a number of commendations. We have Mamouna Mahmood. Are you there, Mamouna? I think I saw you come in.
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Brilliant. Well, we loved your cell block bonanza. That was it was an unusual. We've seen lots of different games over the years. This was a different take, and it was so beautifully done. So well done.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. The next one we've got is Lillian. Lillian, we really liked your smart sun care kiosk. I think you're definitely here, I think, aren't you? Somewhere. Team Theo. Well done, Theo. You obviously get the good students. So brilliant. Yeah, well done, Lillian. That's such a wonderful prototype. We really enjoyed your prototype. Our next commendation was for Emily Bannon.
Hello, that's me.
This was such an interesting idea. The idea of using touch as a way to navigate your way out of a building if you're visually impaired, or indeed if it's smoke filled, to be honest. So we thought that was a simple but really, really creative idea. So well done. That's absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
Great. And next we have Alessandra Sangamano. For your this was an idea of to try and avoid getting messed up public seating, to have a folding seat with a little kind of wind feature next to it. So well, Alessandra, I think I saw you come in. Well done for that. And then the final commendation we've got is for Jill Cairns. We loved your chart. We loved your bagpipe t-shirt as well, but the community wildflower beds we particularly liked. So yeah, well done, Jill. Are you there?
Yes, hello, and thank you.
That's brilliant. And now, drum roll, please. The ultimate winner is one of our, this is not a fix. Paulie has been an important part of our design team. But we really loved Paulie's game, which is based on Rescue, but it's using some really quirky little characters. Paulie, do you want to tell us a bit about it?
Thank you. Thank you very much to everybody. It's a game inspired by my nephews, ironically, about moles. Our hero, Moly Moly, is being chased by a fox, and he's an automatic player. So you can play on your own, you can play with up to 4 people. You use cards as the mechanism to move around, and there's all kinds of other crazy things that go on as well.
Yeah, fantastic. This is the joy of U101, because we have all these beautiful t-shirts, these lovely prototypes of kind of interesting kind of solutions to problems. Then we have games, and there were some absolute stunners this year. And yeah, it is just such an interesting module really. So well done to everybody on U101. And if your name wasn't called, that doesn't mean that your work wasn't good. It was, as I say, absolutely
It was
impossible
very
to
hard.
judge. Very, very hard indeed. So, shall we move to T190? T190, this is our brand shiny new module, which has been presented for the first time this year. It has quite a small number of students on it relative to the other modules at the moment, so we didn't have lots of entries for it. But what we got was really, really great, really good quality. And we've just got a winner for T190, and that winner, who I'm pretty sure is Olivia. Olivia, again, this is not a fix. Olivia also has been part of our team. But this is such a really interesting album cover, and the working out of how you arrived at it was really interesting. Olivia, do you want to say something about how you found T190 this year?
Yep, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
So I took my headphones out. Yeah, so T190 was because it was the first time the module ran, it was still working out like some present, but it was a really successful module for the year. I think I really enjoyed it. It was fast paced and something different each time, which was really exciting, and focusing on different things. I think I tried more new things than, like, I did a lot more new things than I thought I would. Trying digital drawing and using algorithms and that to create designs, which was exciting. And it's a really fast paced, interesting module that brings together lots of different types of designers, from graphic design to service design at the end. So if anyone wants just a bit of everything, it's a really good module to try, and it's good fun. Enjoyed it.
Brilliant. And you obviously love your music. That, I think you said, is this part of what you hope to go on and do?
Yes, when most of anything I create normally is, I end up putting music into it somewhere, or I'm always listening to music when I'm designing. So it's great. It was when I saw the first project was create an album cover, I was like, that sounds amazing. That's probably my favourite thing I'll ever do.
That's right up your street. Brilliant.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. Oh, thank you, Olivia, and well done.
Thank you.
So shall we move on to T217? Again, we did have quite a few entries, but not masses. So we've just got one winner for that. And Design Essentials, if you don't know it, it really tries to get down into the nitty gritty of some of the design skills that you need in order to go on and design, particularly for product design. Really, it's quite a heavy emphasis. It is going to be replaced. We're currently working really hard at the moment on its replacement, which will launch next year, and it's going to have a rather different flavour. There's going to be a lot more co-design and a lot more about sort of social designing. But we've got one winner for T217, and this one was hard because this person put in more than one entry, and they were both really good. So Lauren Goddard, for both your entries, we are
You're a joint winner with yourself.
You're a joint winner with yourself, yes. Are you there, Lauren?
Yeah, hello. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful. I put quite a bit of work into these two, so yeah, I'm glad it's paid off. So thank you.
Oh, that's brilliant. And are you someone who uses CAD drawing in your normal daily life, or is this something you've learned for the?
Oh no, this is what I've learned since U 101. This was called Tinkercad, so I did this on my iPad really.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. It is so good to see how you do need, it does help, doesn't it, to spend that time, extra time, just playing around and learning the softwares or whatever. But look how well it helped you to realize your ideas. That's brilliant. So
Thank you so
well
much.
done. It's a very playful duck. That the rewards come out the mouth, don't they, Lauren? As I recall.
Yeah, so I was trying to figure out a way to dispense the duck food without the feed getting wet, something to catch it, and I just thought the beak was something similar to what I'd sketched, so it was just taking another idea and incorporating it back into the complete design at the end, really.
And it's lovely. It gives it such a nice quirky feel to it. So well done. That's absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
Right. So T317. That's this is our kind of capping course really, and it's an interesting one because the people who come to T317, some of them have done design all the way through, others are coming from business or from engineering. We get a lot of engineers doing it, and I think that reflects in some of the projects that we see. We also have people coming from the computing degree as well to it, so it's a lovely kind of melting pot of different disciplines, and that's always reflected in the project. So once again, we had quite a lot of entries for 317, and we had a terrible trouble making up our minds. So we've got 4 commendations. So first one, Porter. This is an idea for a yarn repository. Helen, are you here? Maybe, possibly not. I thought I saw her come in, but the idea is really to kind of help to manage and swap and deal with it for people who love knitting and yarn. It's to manage that, and there's an app, but there's also some physical things to help you to vacuum pack your yarn and all sorts. So that we really like the idea that this network might form amongst all the knitters. So no, Helen. Okay. Have we? The next one is Betty. Betty, I'm sure I saw you come in. Are you there? Would you like to tell us about your design?
Yes. Hello. Yes, I'm here. Well, this idea came because I'm always struggling to store my clothes, and there's so many that I don't use. And I'm pretty sure that everyone can relate to the same problem, because whenever I chat to people about this idea, they know what I feel and can completely relate. So I thought, why not just create something within the community? You could swap with your friends or your neighbors, and that would save a lot of waste and, people spending money on fast fashion, which we want to avoid. So yeah, that was the idea.
And I think the distinction here is that you're using sort of AI and tagging, aren't you? So to keep track of the clothes.
Yeah, so this is like an automatic drop-off container, so no person needs to be standing there all the time. An AI bot will be taking care of sorting and doing all of the management.
Brilliant. It's a really, really interesting idea. So well, very well done.
Thank you.
Our next commendation is Janos. It's a kind of smart first aid kit, Janos. So I know you're in the room. I saw you come in.
Yes, I'm here.
Do you want to tell us about it, where the idea came from?
Oh, it's just personal background history, really. I used to do first aiding at a company, and then I had a kind of a traumatic experience. And then I don't know, when we were choosing our projects, it came into one of my brainstorming kind of options, and the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, actually, this would make sense to expand on, to explore a bit more, to make something probably more easier to use for people under stress, because my experience was that I couldn't actually use the first aid book kit that I had available very well, because there was just so many stuff cluttered and didn't know what to use. So that was kind of the aim to solve.
It seems like a really, really good idea. Something needs to pair up with the 111 service or something to.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, on the emergency services can actually help you on the phone, and I figured out that this is actually quite helpful many times. But the problem is it's still not visual enough. So that's why I thought it would be better to make it a bit more visual, a bit more, as humans are more visual than just word based. So that was the idea behind it.
Well, it's a really interesting idea, and I look forward to seeing one eventually. I'm sure it will come. We've got virtual doctors, so
I would think so. Yeah, I think it's definitely a way to go to get to this kind of technology level in the future. It's actually already a possibility. I checked that. So
fantastic. So thank you and well done for that. So a final commendation is Carrie-Anne Andrews. Carrie-Anne, are you here? Carrie-Anne's idea was to teach children about food waste and to utilize it in a way by kind of getting the children to turn food waste into usable paper and resources within schools, which is a really interesting idea. Hiya, have you got a microphone, Carrie-Anne, or you just it's that's all right. Well, very well done. It's a interesting idea, and it's obviously kind of come out of a passion to try and do something about the food waste that you see. So brilliant. So we have for the winners for 317, we had such a difficult time making up our mind that we have got joint winners. So our joint winners are Chris Lane with an IntelliGear, which is basically a kind of PPE dispensing machine for kind, I presume, possibly offshore working or certainly industrial applications, and Daria Balmain for gender affirming activewear, Second Skin. So are either of you in the room? Would you like to tell us a bit about your projects?
Hi there, yeah, I'm here, Chris.
Oh, hello, Chris.
Hi there, yeah, so it was just, I work offshore in oil and gas, and it's just, it was just a recognition that there is quite a lot of preventable injuries which continue to happen offshore, and it seems to be the running theme through the research was that protective equipment either being missing, having the wrong equipment on board, or just the users not understanding what they should be wearing for the right task. So it was just a way of sort of autonomizing the system, linking it to management systems, and increasing storage capacity for offshore vessels, which are quite limited as well. So it was just like an interactive terminal where the user could approach it. They could select which task that they were going to complete, and the system would recommend the right equipment that they should be using for that task.
Yes, it's a really interesting idea, and I'm sure one that is really needed. So yeah, and very, very
a lot
well
of things that came
thought.
out. The research was that people would there was like a paperwork blindness. People were almost becoming just completely unaware of what was required of them for the right task, because there's so much paperwork involved in some of the process, the jobs which we do offshore. So it's people just becoming completely blind to the paperwork and just signing it without fully understanding or appreciating the risks involved. So it's sort of taking that away and making it a bit more interactive with the user right in front of their face.
Yeah, it seems like a really great idea. So very well done on that.
Thanks.
That's brilliant. Daria, are you here at all?
Hi, I'm here.
Hi. This is such a great idea. What do you want to tell us a bit about it?
Well, a couple of years ago, my partner came out as a trans woman, and well, this was a really life-changing experience for me as well. So I wanted, seeing them struggling with mental health and then improving on that using gym and sports. I really wanted to design something that kind of reflected on this experience, and designed a gender-affirming activewear.
Yeah, and you've really thought about the materials that you're using and the where kind of there's help needed to kind of get the shaping that someone wants and so on.
Yeah, so basically it's basically an activewear, and it's designed to be like an ordinary activewear but more accessible through its design, through the padding, for example, for some shaping. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it sounds like a really really needed idea. So we really like the way you kind of presented it and realized it. And I believe that you might have used AI for the final kind of drawings, but you've acknowledged that, which is something that we're really keen to see. Brilliant to use technology, but it's always good to acknowledge how you've used it. So fantastic. So very well done. Thank you so much. Now,
thank you.
That's brilliant. Now we have a final overall winner. And we always look and see, is there someone that kind of stands out because they've done excellent work, and it doesn't matter what level. And we found someone who had done both T190 and U101 this year and had done exceptional projects in both. So Claire Brown, we want to declare you the overall winner.
You floored me here.
So sorry.
I'm shaking, sorry. Thank you so much.
I particularly love your squirrel pines because Claire even provided a video of the squirrels actually using this squirrel feeder.
That wee nature. Yeah, thank you so much.
Do you want to tell us have you got a squirrelist problem in your garden or?
Yeah, so it was a high chair, believe it or not, to begin with, and I had to turn it into. It started off as a squirrel feeder, but after my little peer group suggested maybe including birds, that's when I made some changes, and actually that's when squirrels started to use it because it was more open at the bottom, and as the food ran out at the bottom they started to climb up to the top, so that's how I got them to use the little maze. So thanks to my peer group and Tony, they were great, they gave me advice on how to get squirrels in. It worked. So and my game is it's called Flower Power, and you've got to try and guess the scent without ever smelling it. So you get a list, and you've got to use your detective skills and smell the ones round about the flower, and then eliminate from your list, and then get the right one, and you win. So yeah, it's like a hippie feel to it, yeah, as well. We all dressed up like hippies and stuff when we played it, so yeah, we encourage that.
That's brilliant. Well, honestly, superb work, and we look forward to seeing your work in future. And that's true of everybody that's entered, and if you won or got a commendation, we just look forward to seeing what you do in future.
Thank you.
And if for the T317 people, we hope you come back and look at the show, even if this is your final course. We hope you come back and see what people are doing next year as well. So that's fantastic. So thank you, everybody. Let's have one huge round of applause. I'm going to put my mic, keep my mic on, and we can do, if you can, put your mic on, and we can give a proper physical round of applause. Fun, everyone. And I'm not too far over time, Nick, so there you go.
You've done amazing. Thank you so much, Georgie. This was, I loved it. And thanks everyone for sharing your thoughts and background on your projects. It was really, really interesting to hear. And again, so difficult to judge and choose. We had really good work this year. I'm really happy about that one. Okay. But again, I really, really have to mention our amazing annual show design team. Without you, we would not have made this happen. It's a lot of work, but I hope you would agree with me that designing the annual show is also very rewarding. I don't know if any one of you would like to talk a little bit about how we've worked together, because I found that really interesting, and I think that happened more than once this year, that it's very fast-paced design, as you know, Olivia, you said that before as well, didn't you? So anyway, would anyone of you like to just make a comment about how we got this annual show together? Yay!
I found it really amazing and humbling to be working with such an amazing multi-talented team. Just everybody's worked so well together, and it's just been an absolute joy and pleasure, because I didn't know what I was letting myself in for when I volunteered. I was like, I don't know what I can bring to the table, but yeah, everybody was so welcoming, and worked so nicely together. We all inputted different things, and the Miro board was a really fun way to kind of share ideas, so learnt some new skills and things that I can take forwards. I've just really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for accepting me as a volunteer. I would really recommend it for anybody that is thinking about it in the future.
Because you got an actual design coming out of it, right?
Yeah, real life one.
Like that's the one, that's the finished thing. It's unusual, isn't it? Like in coursework, you usually get to a certain point, but this is the end.
Yeah, and the collaboration as well. That I found through the modules that collaboration is absolutely key, and don't be afraid of working with people. Like, sorry, my computer keeps pinging every time a chat message comes up. I hope you can't hear it.
That was my eye-opener too, that after Miro in the beginning, we moved on because we needed to work faster. We moved on to WhatsApp, and honestly, like 200 messages a day, not less.
It wasn't for the faint-hearted, that's for sure. Like, I didn't realize how much work that would go into it all, with the website and the socials and the flyers and the certificates and the slides, and it was a lot for the 7 of us to do. But I'm really proud of what we've all managed to achieve, and have a look at the website as well, because my gosh, that looks amazing. I'll just stick a link in the chat for you if you haven't had a look yet. It shows all of the entries as well, so it will be a good thing for any new people that are watching. As before I joined a design course, I got invited to this, and it really inspired me for the module going forwards. So there's people watching that are about to partake in one of the design modules, and they can think, yeah, that's going to be me, in next year or whatever, helping with the show.
Exactly. Oh, thank you so much for doing this with us, honestly. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Again.
My absolute pleasure. Yeah.
Nicole.
Okay, yes, Paulie.
I'd just like to say a big, massive thank you to yourself, Nicole, and to Georgie as well. You guys have been amazing mentors during this, and we couldn't have done it without you. So thank you.
A pleasure. It was really, really great. Every year is a great experience. But as Georgie said, this year was particularly well. We've worked together really seamlessly. Like everyone just, took their things. We joined together. It was like this breathing metaphor. I think we used somewhere on the module. It's like, you breathe in, you get all the ideas in, and you distill the things, and you go on working, and then you breathe out again, and kind of explore again, and then you come back in together. It's been lovely. Thank you. Okay, let's move on because we have still 3 amazing talks to go through. Does anyone want a little bit of a comfort break, or should we just go on? Because we have the option of... No, are you curious about the talks? Yeah, me too. Okay, this is the Sustainathon first. So, we had 2 amazing teamwork events where students came together and worked on design challenges set by other organizations. And I asked participants if they would please tell us what they've done, what came out, and about their experience. And so, first of all, we have Paulie. Paulie, you have kindly agreed to talk a little bit about it. So it's 10 minutes, and I think, Paulie, you've recorded your presentation because I think you might have been a little bit nervous. Just a tiny bit nervous. And so we're going to hear a little bit about what Paulie's reflections and how it went and what they did. And then we have some open questions where everyone can just ask anything you'd like. And Paulie promised they'll answer. All right. Do you want to? I'll unshare my screen for a sec, and then you.
Forget the future. Let's talk about the now. Because if we don't, there might not be a future worth talking about. Good evening, everyone. This is the Sustainathon 2025 section. I'm Paulie Matthews, and I will be your presenter. This is the first ever Open University Sustainathon run by the OU's Career and Employability Services and OU Design Group, Engineering and Innovation, including STEM. On the 18th of June 2025, STEM students at the Open University participated in our first ever Sustainathon. This exciting and pioneering week-long initiative challenged teams to tackle pressing real-world sustainability issues that were generously presented by our valued third-party partners. We are particularly thrilled to collaborate with esteemed organisations like English Heritage and the Final Straw Foundation this year. The programme's main goals was not only to help students develop crucial employability skills, such as problem solving, teamwork and communication, but also to significantly deepen their understandings and awareness of vital sustainability principles. This groundbreaking, entirely online event transcends traditional boundaries, uniting a cross-STEM faculty in a singular, ambitious endeavour. It wasn't merely an offering. It was an invitation for brilliant minds from every corner of our diverse disciplines to plunge into an intricate world of sustainability. Here, students were afforded an unparalleled chance to not only explore this vital subject through an utterly fresh, innovative perspective, but more importantly, to actively forge and cultivate the very new ideas and transformative solutions that will undoubtedly shape a more sustainable future for us all. As expected, with any new event, we encountered a few technical glitches. The OU Sustainathon uses a structured approach to design problem framing developed by Derek Jones, Nicole Lotz, and Georgie Holden, which supports the creative and collaborative design thinking process. 2 challenges, 6 groups, 30 students. Forget the future. Let's talk about the now. Because if we don't, there might not be a future worth talking about. English Heritage presented a significant and multifaceted challenge concerning their picturesque Kenwood estate in London, specifically addressing persistent issues with waste management and recycling. The core problem revolved around its difficulty in achieving stringent waste reduction targets, primarily due to non-compliance from visitors. This ongoing struggle with visitor behaviour ranges from improper sorting to general littering, has made it exceptionally challenging for English Heritage to maintain the estate's pristine environmental standards and meets its crucial sustainability goals. Further complicating this issue, Kenwood's unique geographical context nestled within the expanse of the highly popular Hampstead Heath. The estate contains outside rubbish entering its boundaries from the surrounding parkland. This influx of waste originating from the vast number of individuals who traverse Hampstead Heath adds another layer of complexity to Kenwood's waste management efforts, necessitating not only solutions for on-site visitor compliance, but also strategies to mitigate the impact of external refuge infiltrating the estate. The confluence of these internal and external waste challenges underscored the urgent need for innovative and comprehensive solutions to encourage more responsible waste disposal among many visitors and protect the estate's natural beauty. Thank you. Now we're going to move on to some of our campaigns. Different campaigns from our projects, from the 3 groups that created presentations for the charities with possible solutions and campaigns for their problems. Here you can see there is a multitude of ideas, all of which I personally think are great, but I might be biased because I was on the English Heritage team. Now we're going to go through the first pages of the projects. This is Group 1, Waste Not, Want Not, a Victorian Way. Group 2, Cup Library, our idea for reducing waste going to landfill. Group 3, Kenwood House, Waste Reduction and Sustainability Proposal. And that's it for our English Heritage part. Thank you for listening. And here we come to our second charity of the Sustainathon, the Final Straw Foundation, an organisation dedicated to combating plastic pollution, spearheading a significant challenge focused on nodal pollution. Nodals? What are nodals? I hear some of you thinking, I was the same. I didn't know until before this project. Nodals are tiny plastic pellets used in the manufacturing and are a pervasive environmental threat. And the Foundation's initiative aimed to generally innovate solutions to mitigate their impact. This ambitious challenge encompassed 2 distinct projects. each tackling sustainability issues at different yet interconnected scales. By approaching the problem from multiple perspectives, the initiative fostered the development of a remarkable array of diverse solutions, from localized community-based efforts to broader, more systematic intervention. The scope of the project allowed for comprehensive expansion of the Nerdle crisis. And now we're going to move on to the projects for the Final Straw Foundation. Here we have some amazing examples of the work and the effort that the students put in from all over STEM, from all the different multifacets. The work here is amazing, especially Know Your Nerdles and many others. There's an idea of getting celebrity endorsements, phone apps, and right here you can see, yep, you guessed it, that is a Nerdle. So as you can see, from awareness to action. Moving on now, we are going to look at the front pages of the projects for Final Straw Foundation. Nerdle Collective was Group 4. Next we have Group 5 with a haunting picture of a carrier bag floating in a desolate sea. And last but by no means least, Group 6, Know Your Nerdles, a solution proposal for the Final Straw Foundation. Open university students, sustainability ideas that are actually sustainable. Well, that's it. We've come to the end of this presentation. If you've enjoyed it, my name is Paulie Matthews. And if you've not, please put your comments on a postcard and send it to Lola via the OU Milton Keynes. But before I let you go, I'd like to extend a thanks to a few people who, without them, this wouldn't have been possible. A special thanks to the English Heritage and Final Straw Foundation. Thank you for setting us such challenging challenges. And of course, a special thanks to the students, the participants. You guys did amazing. And the mentors, Anne-Marie McKenna, Peter Jones, Rachel Wood, and Sam Osey. Also, I'd like to thank the organisers, Georgina Hawkins, Rachel Jolly, and last but by no means least, Vera Howe. And now is the time for the Q&A. Disclaimer. I reserve the right to make up the answers on the spot if I do not know them. Thanks for watching.
Oh, Paulie, that's amazing. I think if you don't know the answer, maybe Vera can jump in. Oh, very enjoyable. Thank you so much. Okay, so open floor to everyone. What would you like to know? Are there any questions for Paulie or Vera or anyone really in the room if you want to ask? Yeah, Rachel. Yeah, I know. Do you want to say something quickly? Oh, Vera, please go ahead.
I want to ask a question because I was doing all of the woman in the chair type of thing. But how was it to work cross discipline? Because we did sort of do a bit of social orchestration so that every group had a designer in the group and that there was an environment student in each group. And then we tried to spread the rest of the STEM students around. But how was it working in across sort of a mixed pan-university STEM type group? How was that for you, Paulie?
I found it interesting. I think at first it was kind of hard to find my footing because I think I was one of the only designers in my group.
Yeah.
But this is what it's about. It's about real life experience, and I definitely got that. And it all worked out in the end, and we came up with a brilliant presentation because we all did work together. There's no I in team.
Yeah, that's how it felt. It felt very much like, 101 is 3. I thought it was for sort of for anybody that didn't know, the timeline was about 8 hours of work for the students to go through a framework over, in a way, 5 working days in a sense. So, but the magic that happened, I was over the moon when I saw all your presentations. They were so professional. They were so top notch for such short space of time. I was blown away. It's really high quality. And one team was only 2 people, and they still magicked something out of the hat. Is phenomenal. So yeah, thanks, and yeah, well done everybody that was part of it. Hi Bruce, I can see you. I know that Stephanie's there as well, so yeah, it's nice to see some of the students here tonight. Theo.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I mean, the presentation wonderful. I really enjoyed listening to all this experience, and it's actually I had a similar question with Vera, but a little bit more. Did you find the experience of going to the design modules have any effect or positive effect on the way that you approach the the sustainathan challenges?
Absolutely, actually. I'm part of T190 as well. And part of that is we do project reviews. And that's where we get peer-to-peer support, peer-to-peer criticism sometimes, which is great because that's how we grow and learn. And it only makes our designs better. So I did find there's a lot of transferable skills I can take, not only from T190, but from U101 as well, because that's the 2 courses I've done so far. And yeah, no, I do think that there's a lot of transferable skills to bring into the real world. And I think it's a very real world environment that we was in.
Yeah, that's useful. Yeah, I would like to follow up that at some point, because that's a quite interesting, quite feeling. If you feel that, that's quite an important thing. Thank you very much.
No problem. If you have got any other questions or anything, my email is on the website.
It is. Ruth, you're next.
Yeah, I was just going to sort of add a bit of a point, because I think, the only open degree student in our group. And so it was really interesting because there were people going, oh, this is how we do it in our models, and this is how we do it here. And so we were having quite a lot of issues with not everyone being able to get into the Teams channel. So we used WhatsApp and Google Docs. And then we realized not everyone knew the same tools. So things like going, oh, there are mock-up generators. So I've done design modules, computing modules, and social science modules. So but there's people who were doing very much environmental, or someone who was very, he was a very big picture thinker. He wanted to solve recycling for the whole world. And I reckon he could do it as well, but probably not in a week. And so I think, and we didn't have quite so much access to the whiteboard stuff that had been laid out. So that in some ways, maybe that meant that we were kind of more freewheeling it. But on the other hand, everyone could sort of, it didn't feel like it was one discipline's framework that everyone was having to follow, which can, I think, sort of, yeah, and I didn't really get to do much design because it turned out that what was the most useful thing to do was try and organize all the stuff. But that was quite reassuring as well, because it sort of makes you think about all the different elements of a project. It's not always just the fun stuff.
Yeah. So you took different roles. Sorry that I'm jumping in. Just to hear each one of you took. That's beautiful. Yeah.
So people, what we did is we came up with, I think, 6 ideas, sort of, poorly, and then in the group each person sort of, one guy, Jeremy, he works in software development, and he talked about how people champion a specific idea. So each person was assigned an idea to champion. You didn't have to it didn't have to be your favorite idea. You just had to sort of summarize it and then put it in and then we voted, and then that's how we then decided how to combine things for our final sort of development of putting things together. And yeah, being the open degree student who's also done some history, stuff. And I ended up bringing in history too. So I did think that I would expand it beyond STEM students. I think there's really a role for arts and humanities, but I do a lot of arts and environment stuff outside of this. So yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay, thank you so much. That's been really insightful. Great questions. Thank you so much. Because of the time moving on quickly, it's already nearly 7. Thank you again, Paulie. It was very good, very entertaining presentation. I love that. And exactly, another applause. Thank you. And of course, we hope to run, hopefully, I don't know, where Sustainable again next year. Would be cool.
Yes, it's already in the pipeline.
Yes, there you go. Yay! Cool. Okay. Let's move on to the design-a-thon. Christine, are you here?
I'm here.
Hi, Christine. Hello.
Yes, I didn't record mine, so my vocals. So hopefully I will keep them track of 10 minutes. So I did practice it.
That's fine. I'm sure you do great.
Christine, only talk a little bit closer to your mic. I think
can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
It's a bit better.
It's a little
bit better.
Oh no, this happened last time.
Yeah, I know. But that's fine. It is. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
It's a bit lower than what we tried before. So you were a bit more louder previously.
I'll try and see if that works. Hello?
Yeah, get better.
I'll talk loudly. I'm going to just do a quick thank you because of the fact the Design-a-thon, we did an Engineer Without Borders contest. And the reason why I'm here tonight is I actually was in the grand finals in Sheffield. But I wasn't there without any help. So I need to say a quick thank you because I didn't do a thank you slide, but I need to thank Theo because he was one of the academics. Nicole, she actually did feedback for us and helped out quite a bit. Daphne Chain, Fola Seo Olalaire, I'm sorry, the names I'm not going to get right. Ian Bates, Fiona Gleed, Katerina Alexu, who sent out the invitation to get us all around the table, Vera Hale, and I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but I'm really apologize. So I'm going to share my screen now because there is some slides and some pictures from the final. So you'll get to see a little bit what happened in Sheffield. So let me share the slides. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. Okay. Go to window. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Starting now. So good evening, everyone. My name is Kristen Civis. I'm a first-year student at the Open University studying computing and IT and design. I recently completed U101 and was privileged to attend the Engineering Without Borders UK Design Challenge Grand Finals, representing Open University through Iguco, a design project about waste. The Engineering for People Design Challenge is a contest about purpose, people, and creating real-world impact. This isn't your typical competition. It's a movement, one that challenges students to think beyond technical skills and consider the global responsibility we carry as future professionals. The prizes included £2,000 bursaries to the winning teams, as well as prestige in the competition. So what exactly was the design challenge? Well, every year, over 10,000 undergrad students from across the UK and internationally take part in this competition. It is open to first and second year students, regardless of discipline. So while I was there, it was a lot of engineering students, but you find engineering and design actually use a lot of the same principles. And the contest was really based on design thinking. The task was to design a solution to a real-world problem in collaboration with an actual community from a lower middle-income country. Each year focuses a new location in partnership with a local organization. Students dive into understanding the social, environmental, and economic context, and develop solutions that are sustainable, ethical, and practical. So this year's focus was Makers Valley in Johannesburg, South Africa. Makers Valley is an area of suburbs on the eastern edge of inner Johannesburg. It is home to 46,000 people, of which half the population is between the ages of 15 and 34, and 60% were born outside of South Africa. About 4% of the population have no schooling, and Makers Valley has suffered from high unemployment and urban decay. However, Makers Valley is now showing signs of regeneration thanks to a DIY spirit and the creative community that lives there. The Makers movement creates a community of conclusion and has brought value to the area. However, different challenges face Makers Valley, including the areas of built environment, food, water, transport, energy, digital waste, and sanitation. So what happened was I think it was November or December, there was an invitation from Katrina for whoever wanted to join this competition. And I think in the beginning there was about 24 students that met with 10 design academics. So we did this, it was supposed to be from January to March, but it is now July and we're still talking about, so, and the final was in June. So it was a little bit longer, definitely. But we met weekly for several months. So every week we would have a big conflab and we would talk we had about 4-hour meetings and we would have discussions, and they were brilliant, and a lot was learned. And just the academic language that I learned from the discussions was immense. But there was creative sessions, presentations, and feedback reviews. These meetings were instrumental to creating entries, which consisted of a poster and a 3-minute video or a 4,000-word project report. We chose to focus on the areas of built environment, digital, and waste. So these are just some of the meetings you can just see, and this is what some of my projects were. But from the first meetings on teams, we examined donut economics, which is a visual framework for sustainable development. And then essentially we looked at meeting the needs of all humans while maintaining a sustainable level of resource use. From there, we used Miro board for our creative sessions. And then as in design, we discounted no ideas, realizing that all ideas could lead to a winning idea. After much research, reading journals, as well as asking questions on Discord, so we used a Discord board to ask questions in Makers Valley. We mapped the services, so we actually mapped the services as we do in U101. We did a whole service map of all the different groups that are already working on this issue of waste, is what we decided. We created a team of David Lewis and I, and we chose waste because we wanted to make an impact. Now, when we looked at the problems in Makers Valley, it was a lot different than the problems that we might face in UK. Some were similar, but some were very different. And it was a lot of like trying to come up with solutions without Western eyes. So that was a big part of it. We chose waste. Makers Valley, the neighborhood in Johannesburg, faced significant challenges related to waste management. The area grapples with illegal dumping, inadequate sanitation infrastructure, and limited recycling initiatives, all of which contribute to environmental degradation and public health waste. In Makers Valley, waste is often improperly disposed of, leading to unsightly and hazardous conditions. Illegal dumping is prevalent, and it's on hotspots. So it affects the aesthetics of the community, but also poses health risks. So despite these challenges, there was a group of people called waste reclaimers, and they contributed £48 to the economy. So we were also looking at this waste problem, but we're also seeing that people are already doing something. So we wanted to converge our ideas with them, not detract. So the waste reclaimers, these recyclers, they go out in the streets, they go through the trash, and they were sifting for glass and plastics. And so they would collect recyclables and then sell them back to buyback centers. So there was that. There was also initiatives like Love Our City Clean that promoted recycling. So we wanted to come up with a solution. So the challenge was, because there was only 8 years left in the landfill around South Africa, what ways can waste be managed in Makers Valley with a community buy-in? And that's how we came up with our idea, which was GUCO, Pathways of Beauty, creating defensible spaces and making a mosaic trail from waste. Now, we did have other projects. So as I said, that Open University sent 3 teams to the competition. So they funded 3 teams to enter. We had Ben Preston, who was working with, I believe, Will. I'm sorry, I'm like forgetting everyone's name. But his idea was the hub effect. And he was trying to create a community hub for construction education, because there was issues in the built environment where there was unsafe buildings and hijacked buildings and oversubscribed buildings, and so that was part of their ideas. We had Haley and Valentina, who had a really strong. So I think Katarina and Theo helped the hub effect. Then we had Folo helping Makers Connect, which was a digital idea for the digital infrastructure, and they made an idea of an app to help out to connect people with employers. And then there was ours, which was turning waste into a circular economy by creating a rock tumbler, a type of rock tumbler from e-waste that would soften glass and make it so that you could put it into the ground and create mosaics. So we were trying to give a visible aesthetic solution to a visible problem of illegal dumping. Our design solution entails creating mosaic sidewalks from recycled glass by artisans, school children, the unemployed, reclaimers, and basically anyone within the community who wishes to create a pathway from waste to a defensible space of artwork which could inform and educate. Residents can take pride in the artworks as they walk through the streets. Visitors can look with wonder at the artisan craftsmanship. This in turn creates a circular economy from waste by creating iconic mosaics on the streets. There are stories to be told as well as tours to take. Waste to sidewalk mosaics to tourism is a circular economy that could be celebrated in Makers Valley. By taking some of the waste out of the landfill, as I said before, there was only 9 years left on the landfill, it is also hoped that the infrastructure could be improved. The mosaics can be used to fill potholes as well. Convergence with organizations such as Josie My Josie, Lock, and Keep It Clean gives it further scale to scale up the project. So how we came about this is when we all started the project, we were all looking on Google Maps to see the streets around Makers Valley. And I remember Theo and Ian had a conversation about the tires. And I think Ian wanted to make a coffee shop from one of the trailers. It was really interesting to actually hear the academics, the lecturers, come up with these ideas, because you never ever have this aspect of learning where you see people in this really humble comedic moment all brainstorming together. It was really fun. So I think that was part of the biggest part. And like what I put as one of our sayings was, art projects create interconnection, and through creative collaboration, trustworthy interactions happen, celebrating culture and community. And I think that was one of the biggest things that I've learned from this, is it's about designing from your heart, designing from joy. And it's also about, communication. So this is our poster that we sent in as our entry, and it won a place in the final. So we were part of 36 teams that got to go back and pitch our presentation for 3 minutes and then take questions. And then if we won past then we would have had to pitch again to, it was originally just 3 judges, and then it was a room full of judges. So it was quite exciting. Now, David used SketchUp to show you how we were our idea of the tumbler. And when I originally envisioned the tumbler, I originally envisioned it as a washing machine part. And so that's how I came up with that. but it was quite exciting. It was really exciting to go to. And I was, like I said, Open University sponsored me to go there. So it was in Sheffield, which is a totally different city. I live in Scotland, and I find England very different than Scotland, so apologies. But Sheffield, it was quite an exciting university. I stayed in a hotel, and I took the train there, and I walked to the building, and I met Ian in the morning. And this is a picture of the outside of the building, and this is a picture of Tom. Tom runs Engineer Without Borders, and that's his hat. Like, he was an iconic character. So, like, that was part of but that shows you everyone there. Then this is part of our project. So this is me making a mosaic on the day to kind of show everyone how it would work, because the idea was really that the idea of Engineer Without Borders was low tech. They wanted things that were low tech. Everything that we see these days is going towards higher tech, but it was so interesting to see design in a low tech space where it really brought it back to the basics, and they wanted people to have projects that other people could implement. So we didn't win, but we had so much happy comments. Hector, one of the judges, who is part of part of some of the partnerships of Makers Valley, he said that we could all go visit. So we have an open invitation to go visit Makers Valley. So this is just me networking with one of the other contestants. All the food all day was vegan, so it was brilliant. It was awesome. So we had all our meals, and so we had all this time to chat, and we had workshops. There's a picture on the right-hand side. That's the board that we did. If I had to do it again, ours was much more design oriented. It didn't look like some of the engineering posters. I would have followed their feedback more. And that's always my mistake. And that's something that we learned about design. You need to follow feedback. And they asked me to put in a matrix, implementation, a costing process. They wanted more meat. They wanted more facts on the board. So I think I would have kept my original poster, but made a very meaty, factual, showing the matrix, showing the implementation, and I would have probably done that. So that was that. And then the people in the afternoon. Now, the interesting thought is, Fola, you're here, Theo, you're here, Katarina, to see which ones went through. Well, the interesting part is Timeless Textiles was one of the groups that got to pitch in the afternoon. So they were one of the final finalists. And their idea was to take fabrics that had gone to the landfill, instead of putting them to the landfill, teaching people in the community how to make products with them. So they were teaching people how to make stuffies or stuffed animals and other things. The one that won was Brick Cycle, which was turning plastic waste into interlocking bricks, which, interestingly enough, that was on our Miro board as one of the brainstormed ideas. I'm sure somebody had said it. One of my favorite ones was Cool Kaya. This was an Irish team, and what they did was they took aluminum cans, made them, compressed them, okay? Then they added plastic bottles, and then they tied them with the plastic bottle waste. And they put that on the rooftop of the buildings to help the buildings to become cooler. Because in South Africa, in the summer, it's very, very hot, and there wasn't air conditioning on these buildings. So this was a way to air conditioning them. So if you want to see any of the projects, I believe they're all on Crowdsolve, so you can see them, but it was really fascinating. It was inspirational. There are people making battery chargers from vapes. It's just like stuff you would have never thought of. So yeah, I don't know if I went over 10 minutes. I'm probably less than 10 minutes. But
yes, but very interesting, honestly.
Yeah. So yeah, so I will stop sharing, but if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll just yeah. So yeah, I'll stop sharing that on my screen.
That's absolutely fine. Well, first, an applause for you. It was a very, very good presentation.
Thank you so
very insightful. Thank you so much. Alessandra has a question, please. Did you? No, I know that happens all the time. Pressing the wrong button. Don't worry about that. That's fine.
Katerina have a question?
Yeah, I think.
Sorry, it's not a question. I just wanted to add a comment that I think, all the teams were really amazing. And you have to consider that the OU teams were doing this in parallel with a study, which is not what a lot of the other groups who took part were doing. They were doing this as part of their degree. So I think there's huge congratulations, huge achievement for all the teams. Unfortunately, some of the teams kind of had to, the teams ended up being 2 people, and it's partly due to that, a lot of pressure. So huge congratulations to everyone. It's a great achievement.
Yeah, I would say that. I wish I knew everyone's last names, and I apologize because I know Ben Preston, and who was his partner for Built Environment? Theo, Katerina?
James Gibbs. I
James
put it in the chat. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
there.
I do apologize. I mean, everyone's entry was amazing. Like, I think Hector, a lot of the people were really looking for an artistic slant, so I think that was part of it. But yeah, you're right. A lot of the students, most of the students there were doing it part of their module. So we did it from January to March, and I think we did amazing amount of work for considering that we got one of 36 teams out of 10,000. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a similar comment I would like to say with Katerina, and it was not only January to March, but because some of the schools they start from the beginning of the year, but you got an exceptionally good feedback. When I saw the feedback that you get for your all the proposals actually got quite good feedback, very good feedback, I have to say, and yours got exceptionally good feedback, and I think we learn as we go. So actually, if we're doing it again, exactly, you learn how you respond to this sort of competitions, and also need to say that myself as well, I really enjoyed all our meetings. The amount of energy research that has happened within this short period of time, the ideas that were generated, it was crazy. It was the amount of exploration that has happened. It was like we were in a proper design studio, and professional design studio, so it was really mind-blowing for me. And thank you so much for the energy, because we did very little. It was one of the things that we did really very little, and you did most of the work. So really big thank you.
Thank you. No, it was amazing. So I appreciate all your time, and it was, like I said, it was amazing having the different levels, because it was U101, 217s. There was people who were computing. There was people in engineering. It was a true collaboration. So I think it was
nice.
It was amazing on that aspect.
Mm.
So. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Christine. And Katrina mentioned that we are working on finding ways of maybe building that into our modules, or maybe as extra. We'll see. We keep you posted. I think would be we'll see. But I have to move us on. Theo, I have to move us on.
No, you don't have to say anything. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, no problem.
Robert, thank you so much for patiently waiting for your turn.
Yeah, no problem.
Do you have a few slides to share?
I do.
That's great. Okay.
Bring them up here.
So just quickly, so Rob is joining us from the OU, and you'll talk about the Open Business Creators. We met, I don't know how, but someone recommended contacting you, and we had loads of interesting conversations around what the OU is doing in terms of funding students to build their startups. And yes, so I'm really, really curious to hear more about it. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And thanks for inviting me to come along and present at this. It's been really, really cool to see all the projects from U101, T217, all the other modules. It's kind of been a full circle moment for me, because I've been saying for a long time that a lot of these students are participating in Open Business Creators and receiving grants. And so I'll share some of those stories in just a second. But my name is Rob Wilson. I've been working at the OU for just about 10 years now. For 8 of those, I've been doing some sort of extracurricular entrepreneurship program for any and all OU students, no matter what discipline. And in that time, I've come across some really, really amazing student stories and students creating their own businesses. And much like the students here who have gone through this process of product design, thinking about societal problem to solve, I'm often seeing these themes through the businesses that our students create. I think that OU students, they're often studying with the OU to make some significant change in their life, but they also want to make a significant change in society. And so that is really cool to see. So if we think of Open Business Creators as this extracurricular opportunity and package of resources for students, our mission in all of this is to create the UK's, this is the most important, the most inclusive entrepreneurial learning community. And we want to do this through equipping students in 3 key areas: with their confidence, with their connections, and with their capabilities. So thinking about building their skills, linking them up with the right sources of support at the right time, and helping empower them through validating their ideas, giving them feedback and advice on where to go next, and giving them some money to try things out or take the next step with their existing business. We think about Open Business Creators supporting people all the way from just thinking about, I might like to start a business one day, to, all right, I want to start exporting to another country. We think of on this continuum as moving from being curious to truly growing. And so are building a suite of resources along each of these 3 pillars or stages of the entrepreneurial journey. The majority of our resources at the current position we're in are at the curious phase, but that's a great place to start. We're also working all the way across the UK, and in partnership with a lot of different organizations. We are partnered with Codebase, an incubator in Scotland for more tech-based ideas. We are partnered with Barclays Eagle Labs on a number of different initiatives, with Welsh ICE, which is an incubator accelerator program in Wales, and a few other organizations, and also with backing by the Open University Business School. So I talked about some of the students coming through Open Business Creators being design students. That's definitely been the case, and I think that's probably why I reached out to you, Nicole. I said, I have these brilliant examples of students on your modules coming out with fantastic business ideas, and I want to try to do something in collaboration with the school to share them. Over the past 3 years, I've had about 1,600 total OU students participate in Open Business Creators in terms of applying for business funding. And we've awarded 70 different businesses with £140,000 total. So that's a lot of potential societal impact and individual impact on these students' lives and the lives that their businesses go on to touch. Most recently, we awarded Charlotte, a design and innovation student from Northern Ireland, a grant. Her business is called So What's the Crack? I love this. And she is working on eco-friendly reupholstery and upcycled home accessories. Very in line with some of the projects we saw on the design show website there. I think Charlotte, I looked at her student record earlier, is just about to study T317. Last year, we awarded a small grant to Vitold, who submitted basically an augmented version of his idea for the U101 board game assignment. And the social enterprise that he created off the back of the board game aims to create this service which teaches school kids about sustainability by taking the game into the classroom and putting a workshop around it and kind of embedding sustainability. So a really, really great example of that full circle moment for me, seeing these U101 projects and then having an Open Business Creator grant recipient come through there. And then another one is Becca from the Design and Innovation degree. Becca was studying U101 a year or two ago and applied for Open Business Creators with this idea that she and her partner had come up with. They noticed a gap in the market for fan-created art in women's football. And they had built a really great following from their Instagram, and we're starting to sell some t-shirts and stickers and some comic book-like designs. And so we gave them a small grant, but we also connected them with one of our entrepreneurs in residence who just so happens also represents Beth Mead on the England women's football team. And that introduction just really made their business take off. They went from kind of unofficially selling Arsenal themed products on Instagram to getting an official license to sell Arsenal and Lionesses products, and they're in Switzerland right now with the women's team. So it's been amazing to me to meet this student studying U101, having this idea for art focused on women's football, to now she's selling officially licensed product for the women's football team. And it's been made possible by the grant funding and the support that we gave her in Open Business Creators. And so I want to find more of these students and support more of them. So I just wanted to come along tonight to say to the students here that we run an annual funding call. That happens in the spring, so it's just closed, but we'll go again next spring, and we'll also have a themed call in the autumn. So not everyone here might be eligible, or the focus might not be for you, but there will be further opportunities to participate. And I'm going to put a couple of links in the chat. One to the Open Business Creators homepage. You can find a bunch of resources there. There's content on dyslexic thinking and startup mentality. There's resources there about if you have a craft as a hobby and you're thinking about making that a business. There's some really cool resources there. And then if you want to start working on what your business model looks like, we use this software tool called Validate. You kind of go into the Validate platform and start to think about who your customers might be, what problem you are solving for them, what resources you need to create your product or service, what kind of partners you're working with, what things cost. And as you're inputting all this information and thinking through these steps, the tool builds you a portfolio to present your business idea. And that's what what we use, that's what students use to apply for funding. So if you're curious about transforming some idea that you have into a business model, go ahead and get started on that. And next year, when the fund opens again, you'll be ready to go with an application for between £1,000 and £2,000 to get things started or keep going with it. And then I always like to finish with a student quote, and this is from Natasha. Natasha's an open degree student, but I don't think she's design, but she has created a really impressive model for a social enterprise that creates a circular economy in her local area. And it's just another example of one of our grants and support being really transformative for her and her business. So I thought I'd finish there. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Wow, this is, I mean, yeah, I knew that would be so useful. I can already see the brains ticking of all the students sitting in this room here. I'm like, well, that might be something for me. I hear it. I hear the brains ticking.
Good.
It's very relevant. Very. Okay, Theo, you have your hand up. You have a question. Is that right?
A quick question with Rob.
Absolutely.
Where students can find information about that, how they can participate, how they can, what's yeah?
I put a link in the chat. I'll also share it with Nicole in case there's a post-event email roundup. This website is the best place for now, but whenever the fund launches, I always put a message on Student Home. Opportunities is available.
Okay. You can also send the information directly to us, and we can maybe try to see
I did send it onwards some time ago. We also busy. We had tons of emails. I'll resend it. I'll do it definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Paulie, do you want to come in?
Hey, thank you. Yeah, I was just wondering, for someone who's not 100% sure on where they want to fall in their studies yet, is there any way of honing in what they already do to come up with a business idea?
How do you mean? The business idea needs to relate exactly to what you're studying?
More or less, yeah.
No, not at all. You could for local bakery.
Oh, there's no limitations.
No, not at all. In fact, we want to support any and every type of business. So from someone freelancing, wanting to monetize a skill, right up to someone with a kind of a deep tech startup idea. We're totally open to anything and everything. And the important thing for us is kind of teaching that entrepreneurial thinking and entrepreneurial process, from thinking about creating value, how you are solving a problem for your user or customer base, and how you relay that information, and how well you think through things like how to reach your customers, associated costs, but there's support for all that too, thinking through all those things.
Brilliant, thank you.
Sure.
More questions. I think everyone has already gone to the website.
I think one person has their hand up.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for spotting.
I had a kind of follow-up question from Paulie, really, because you just mentioned a bit about freelancers, but like I always thought these type of things, they weren't like, for me, because I do creative, creative technology freelancing stuff around my health, and I don't want to accelerate and grow big because that wouldn't be accessible for me. So like, is there stuff for like sometimes I say I want a de-accelerator.
Yeah.
Or like a slow accelerator instead of a fast. Yeah. I'm not lacking in opportunities for work. I'm lacking in like how to just basically yes, thank you, slow accelerator, thank you. But yeah, so I was just sort of wondering, is it really like about trying to grow and get bigger, or are there different types of things, like especially around creative freelancing?
Yep, again, totally open. I think we do talk about this continuum of going from curious to growth, but and that's totally okay. And there will be resources to support you on that journey. I'm working right now with an organization called Freelancer Club, and I'm hoping to run an event or a series of workshops with them later this year or early next, but in conjunction with the career service. So we'll have a specific focus on freelancers and the support that they need there. So keep an eye on the career service stuff too.
And any other questions for Rob? Yeah. Stephanie?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Stephanie.
I had a question. Obviously, a lot of people have already had their own freelancing or their own entrepreneurial idea. Is there supportive things in the area of this offered for people who are starting out from the beginning, from the start, with no prior experience or no prior opportunity? Are they still valid to learn from even the opportunity hubs that are connected that might come in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll award people purely at the idea stage. It's all about how well thought out the idea is and your plan for taking things forward. So there's definitely resources on the site to help you think through that. And we're totally open as to what stage you are at on your entrepreneurial journey as well.
Thank you. Appreciate
Sure.
your time answering.
Really encouraging. Yeah, it sounds amazing. Anyone else? Anyone else would like to ask a question? Or I'm sure you'll get many more applications now from us. Oh, there's one more. David.
Hi, Rob. I'm sorry, I've just kind of joined in the celebration of all of your hard work over the year, and so I'm just about to begin my journey. So I hope you don't mind me asking a question.
Sure.
I had a background in self-employment with interior design, and I'd make furniture and things from recycled and repurposed materials. And so it was a successful business for a while, and I had a nice gallery and a shop. But I found that my health challenges prevented me from accelerating that and taking that further. So I've decided to go back to studying to try to change career and become more of a creative on a digital designing basis through product design and things like that. So I think my question is, with regards to the situation like that of career changing and looking to take a block of skills from one industry and attempt to enter a completely new industry, are there any recommendations or sources for helping, with that transition and just really a question around that sort of aspect of it, if you don't mind?
My advice would be to hold on to your network that you've created there with your previous business to help you in your next. In terms of the entrepreneurial fundamentals, sounds like you've got that kind of figured out so far. So it's about just taking that first step and launching your next business, but using your previous network to help you make that a success. I think never underestimate the amount that people who know you will be willing to help you in whatever your next step is. That's true of people at the OU, but people in your past business life too.
Thank you. I do appreciate your answering that. Thanks.
Sure.
You're muted, Nicole.
I had just realised I had my mic off. Didn't want to try. I just was realising that I think Ruth and David maybe should communicate and join up. Maybe you can support each other, as Rob said so topically, actually. All right, I'm aware we already need like nearly 15 minutes over, so I'll want to give you a little bit time back for your evening. But I have to say this was a very enjoyable evening, loads to celebrate, amazing projects, many thanks to all our students who competed and won and got commendations, and those who not but did amazingly well. Once again, I have to say that every one of your is worth an applause. Everyone is. Thank you very much
to
for
you
attending
as well, Nicole.
Yeah, that's a pleasure.
Nicole,
Always very much a
Nicole and
pleasure.
Georgie.
I so
Yeah.
enjoy that. Yes, I love. I love a party. All right, so I'll see all of you next year again, and please enjoy and browse the website and get in touch with us. And my dog wants my attention now, so I'll leave you to it. So goodbye and have a lovely evening. Bye.
Good evening, good night, everyone. Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Bye. This one. Hi.
Bye-bye.
Stop recording.